This is a short discussion continuing with The Ruin of Kasch by Roberto Calasso, which discusses in depth the change in consciousness and society with the emergence of secular modernity. I'm reading pages 58 to 60. He says, while language in general became drier and duller, some words became charged with radiance. Their meaning was multifaceted in a way never to be repeated. Douceur. From sweetness to delight, to pleasure, to slowness, to softness, to mildness, to languor, to tenderness, to civility, to smoothness. It is useless to try to circumscribe what, at different times, for different people, that word contained. In the heart of progress, the demon of the unlimited was stirring, whereas in the heart of douceur there was nausea. So here Calasso is saying that in the heart of progress, which mankind has become obsessed with, is the demon of the unlimited. This passionate obsession with breaking through all boundaries, all ethics, all rules by which mankind previously lived. Man has unleashed his unlimited desire to press forward into what he thinks is the future. To continue, once the equilibrium of bon ton, good tone, was achieved, a headlong degradation was all that remained. The smoothest of languages also becomes the most inert. The sharpest arrow, the bon mot, becomes a tool of the trade in the vitiated air of newspaper offices. History after the French Revolution is the history of progress devoid of the patina of douceur. After the Revolution, progress forgets sweetness. Its heart does not want it, since it is there that the demon of indefinite process dwells. Its reason does not want it, since reason now claims to be based on the revolution, hence on the moment when sweetness was killed. And according to reason's immense fallacy, the sacrificial victim was to be seen as the enemy. Roberto Calasso talks a lot throughout this book about the sacrificial victim and the ritual of sacrifice in pre-modern society and what the role of the sacrificial victim was in pre-modern society. To continue, even its legacy could be contagious. When the very memory of sweetness is eliminated, when all history becomes son et lumiere, and no longer cohabitation with protective shadows, then certain well-meaning, distressing expressions begin to appear. Leisure time, quality of life, just as people begin to talk about landscape after nature had already been disfigured. Again, I like these subtleties that Calasso highlights. The loss of some kind of spirit, some kind of light, some kind of flow in human life. And once that light and spirit and flow has been eliminated from the society, it is somehow replaced again with this secularized idea of human life, but it is in a kind of flat-toned package. It's an hour or 2 hours that slot into one's schedule, hence leisure time or quality of life. So he's highlighting the irony that this term quality of life was brought in after the genuine quality of life was lost. The nausea provoked by an excess of sweetness corresponds to the moment when the sacrifice should take place. One is nauseated because one feels guilty for having avoided the sacrifice. The state of sweetness is not stable. It is occasional perfection, fleeting and insidious, the dulcedo of the mystics. When it becomes stable, sweetness demands to be devoured. Sweetness ends in the knife of sacrifice. Douceur is the patina that is spread over life, that makes it livable, the dust on the butterfly's wings. Producing it requires slow, careful alchemy, long simmering, a gentle heat. But this is nonetheless a fire which ultimately seeks to kill. So this is Calasso's meditation on this almost indescribable quality in human society and in human life that somehow gave depth to that life, that somehow beautified it and made living bearable. But with the turn of the revolution and the initiation of secular modernity, this is swept away, and society is replaced by some kind of mechanization of sentiment, we might say. Some kind of shallow, packaged, empty, fake pleasure. But that can never ultimately satisfy the human soul. And this is where I'm going to end today. I hope you enjoyed listening to this, and I will be loading up other short discussions on this book. Thank you for listening.